What's up, gang? I got it. I think it's my fault. Free real. What's up, the rest. Hey, I got that chicken to go. I'm gone. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. Good drip. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you cut off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hating and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm calling the guap. Who gave you a voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie up the big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that chicken to go. A lot of these look lost. They broke.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Trying to ground game here with the running back. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. He'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards.
Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
And they'll run it here. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll look to throw here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. And they'll go on the ground. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now a handoff looking right. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
His throw caught at about the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Over.
Now they'll run it on the toss. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
He's going to get it running right. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive.
Guilt trip is here, baby. Guilt trip is here.
Here's Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his first pass is incomplete. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he's got some space here. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving him a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Looking to throw. Wrong. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Finding room to the 20. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. A big run there. 29 yards and a first.
I'm still an old-school football guy, and anytime you see a big-time running play, that fires me up. And if I'm on offense right now, in the position they're in now, inside the...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Extra point good by Catanzaro. And that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Roth. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. An outstanding pickup there for the Chiefs. 47 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Throwing on 1st down. Roth. Flush to his right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again. Roth. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, a 22.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. He'll get it up the middle. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
make them up 5. How crucial will those 5 yards be? We'll see as they come up again here, 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Wrong. Flushed out right. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Well, that was excellent coverage right there, and he definitely did the right thing, showing that discretion is definitely the better part of valor. Threw it away, preserved the opportunity to kick for a field goal.
And excellent coverage. And right now the human is controlling the defense, so good job, human. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got room. There he goes left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They go play action here on 1st down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A good pickup there, a 22. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good pickup there, a 22.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
On 1st down, Roth. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he first shot in there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Over the middle, complete. That's Harmon. And they'll get this down to the 10. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a third and goal situation.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal.
Where's 52?
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. As his guys are in for 6. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead. That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense, too.
That's a great point because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments, trying to figure things out, but they'll do so fatigued.
Extra point forthcoming. Point after, right down the middle. And he makes the score 21-10. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This one taken from the 7. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
Now they'll run it on the toss. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. They're going to look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now they'll run it on the toss. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
The Raiders on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Lucky 56.
Back to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They're going to try and throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Detroit!
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this one is incomplete. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. They are in the 2nd quarter down in Miami. The Dolphins have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Roth. Looking deep downfield. He's got it at the 15. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. A big play there for KC, and even 50 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
All right, here we go. Green, 30.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are able to get this back within a touchdown. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run. Making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle. No running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Now the offense will stay out there. They're going to line up and try for 2.
No. Check. Patriot. Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Switch. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now they'll run it on the toss. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. And they'll run it here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
56.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Detroit! Detroit!
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Leopard! Leopard!
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Adoree Jackson right there, step for step in coverage.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. And now here come the Raiders. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
He'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. So they've been unable to capitalize on a great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Now back to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off the play fake. Roth. He's going to loft one. Deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there.
This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. We're back now in KC. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. The Raiders on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up a throw. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there at 22. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun.
Back to throw here. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Elsewhere, 4th quarter score now for Baltimore. And the Jaguars have scored again, so they are in the driver's seat big time in that one. A win would be just their 2nd of the year if they could hold on. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and sneak it here. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. A wall of bodies there. Nowhere to burrow through the line on the quarterback sneak. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Gone! All right, here we go. Blue landed! Blue landed!
He's back to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Edwards. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery, but on 4th down, a change of possession anyway.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. The ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Fighting his safety valve here. That's complete. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, you got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And they'll run it here. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Clock now under 30 ticks and running.
Check, Patriot! Patriot!
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
The Chiefs on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield and nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
This one taken from the 7. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. And the Chiefs are going to get him. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far.
Now, Barney.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
Lucky 56. Over.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. coming up on a 3rd and 9. Opening drive of overtime as they look to convert.
Gun! 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 Detroit! Detroit!
Now a first throw here in overtime. Escaping the pressure right. A bullet throw, but incomplete. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
Play clock down to 5, and they're going to burn a timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down.
Gun! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
They'll drop the throw. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a first down. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a first down. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. And they'll go on the ground. Oh, fighting off the defender. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
They'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down. Two minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. Third and 8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive. He'll drop to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll go with a keeper. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a first down.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Looking to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Well, we had 2 ties last season in 2016, and now we've got another here.
They're part of the game, but I can sound philosophical here and say, well, what can you do? But neither team happy, right? No one wants to walk away from here with a tie, but I guess it's better than walking away with a loss, right?
Yeah, I guess that's the bright side for both teams, but nobody walking away a victor. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Kansas City, so long, everybody.
Introduction really necessary. Get the message like a secretary. Boy, I'm legendary. When I'm dead and buried, still be kicking flavor in the cemetery. Trap music original.